Hello, hello, hello. It's me, it's Chimi. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Chimi's Creative Club. Today, if you can see, I have a special guest, my camera. But listen, we're working on all the technical things, but I wanted to introduce my camera. So we're going to be drawing today, and it's going to be extra special. But I'm going to just wait for, everyone to come into the chat. I see some people are trickling in. Hello, good evening, happy Friday, happy National Tequila Day. Okay, I didn't even know that was a thing. Shout out to Miss 808 for letting me know that it was National Tequila Day. Yes, and here she is. Yes, Miss Melanie. It's a commune conference today. Okay, we are getting all of our activities so we can figure out how we're going to sell all of our wonderful things. Okay, that's what we're doing. Miss Lady Zelda, oh my gosh, Miss Captain Harris, hello, welcome. Thank you, right? It's so good. Listen, I'm in my feels and I needed to be in a dark, moody vibe today. So, this is what it was giving today. Yes, Miss Terry, hello, welcome everyone. Happy National Tequila Day. Where's Miss Terry? Because Miss Terry, she loves a good tequila, okay? She loves a good tequila. Oh, and shout out to Miss Lady Zelda's Avon link. I got all of my products, okay? I have currently on the blush and the bronzer that I ordered. The actual lip glosses, I don't have them on, but they are fabulous. So if Terry, I think you might have the link. If you could please put Lady Zelda's Avon link so people can go support it. Please do, because the products are actually really affordable and they're great compared to some of the stuff that I was buying, like the Tatchas of the world, the skincares. They're very good. And I had it on all day. Fantastic. Okay. So like I said, I have my camera here today. This is my new addition to my family. And I'm actually going to add to the stage what we're going to be doing today. So of course, Lady Zelda, please, listen, we need to get all the girlies on what you're doing because you're amazing. Oh my gosh, Miss Boston Brandy, hi, beautiful. Oh, love her. Stop it. We love you. Stop it. Oh, stop it, girl. Thank you. Listen, I'm in my moody era today because today's topic is something that's very near and dear to me, but also there's a lot going on. But anyway, yes. So let's show the people this beautiful thing that I worked on. So if you watched my last short, I was working on doodling. Hi, Miss Nurse of Interest, mi reina linda. Hello, how are you? So I was doodling because, doodling aside from drawing and all the other fun art things, it's a good way to relax. So I was doing this black and white contrast thing. I'm kind of matching, kind of going with the vibes. But it's one of those things. So I'm going to turn on my camera so you can see what I did. Oh, stop it. So I'm going to do this. Please let me know if you can hear me okay. Oh, not me. Hi, girl. Yes. Actually, now you can see the blush, honey. It is blushing. The contour, the bronzer is brontouring. Thank you. Oh, my gosh, thank you. Miss Patricia. Oh, my God. Hello. So let's do this so that we can see. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Oh, StreamYard. Oh, already giving me drama. No, stop it. Okay, let's do that. Yes. Okay, so here's our wonderful cam that is doing all the wonderful things. So I finished this today and I really loved all of the patterns that kind of came out of it. And these are all just acrylic markers. So I'll just show you really quickly. I use these, and I know it's kind of the opposite, so maybe I'll do this. So I use these from Amazon. They're great. They're pretty affordable. And then I got this set of just metallic acrylic markers, and it's just this brand. So towards the end of the video, what I'll do is if anyone is interested in any of the materials, we can, I'll link it so that you guys can get your hands on it because doodling is so fun. If you're a doodler, please put a heart in the chat because this is the most relaxing thing. And I'm going to show you how to do this, a version of it. So we're going to do that today. But first things first, what I would like to know is we're going to do another metallic. So I have silver and I have gold. I don't think that this one is just regular white. So I'm going to ask the chat, would you like to do silver or gold for our next piece? Let me know. Let me see if I can get a poll going. So that way, and listen, I did my hands, honey, because listen, Lady Zelda's here. Okay, we need to be put together. All right. Oh, Lord Gregor's here. Welcome, Lord Gregor. Yes, I was thinking silver too, Lady Zelda. Yes. You know what? Lady Zelda says silver. We listen. Okay, so I'm going to flip this over. So like I said, this is a very simple thing just to kind of doodle away. And we're going to talk about today's topic because can we as people separate the art from the artist, especially when that said artist could end up being controversial, can be problematic, has influence. Can we do it? Let's get into it. So let me say really quickly hi to everyone again. So hello, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for being here. And also wait, before everything again, sorry, very long intro all over the place. Hi, have we met? Thank you so much to JFK. I got a chance to get on the stage with them this week. It was really nice to like come back into the space and say hi to everyone. And just thank you to JFK for allowing me the space to be able to chat about what I was talking about, what I'm doing here on this channel. It's been great to have so many of you of the long gamers come through and to find me. And again, like I'm very bad about promoting myself. I just don't do it. Like I get very like, I'm just like one of those type of people that you'll come to me when you see me, when you find me, if at all, if it's meant for you. So I'm just very grateful to him for, sharing the love and for him allowing all of you to allowing me to share what I'm doing on this side of the YouTube streets. So without further ado, let's get started. Hi, Life. Hi, Miss Patricia. Hi, Nurse of Interest, mi reina linda. Yes, Miss Melanie, of course. Raka, hello, beautiful. Yes, Lord Gregor. Oh, what an honor to have like the Veil people here, the Veil Keep icons, the legends. Stop it. I can't even deal. All right, so, and of course, Miss Harris, Miss Life Artist. Yes. Hello, beautiful people. Okay, so let's flip the page. I love these notebooks. They're great. And, I've done a couple of other things. So actually, let's do a little show and tell before we get started because, hi, this is my brain. If I had to describe what my brain is like, this is what it's like. Hi, all my thoughts going on at once, like literally, like so many things. But anyway, let's get started with getting this page. And let me see if I can find something to share over here that I worked on. Yes, this is a piece I did. I wish it would flip, but for some reason, like I haven't figured out how the camera cannot mirror me without me looking a mess and then like switching the audio. So we're leaving it alone, but I did this and this was kind of like a big step for me when I created this because I was the worst at making faces. Like everybody looked like Quasimodo, honey. Okay. Like everybody was looking one eye like this, like the proportions were all off and it was just not it. But I kind of found my groove to feel a little bit more confident in just not stressing so much about like art and just allowing the process to just be. Miss Renee is here. Hi, beautiful. Thank you for being here. Girl, if you need to go, you already know I love you. I appreciate you. And yes, Melanie, faces are so hard. They are one of the most difficult things ever for me. Like it was just super hard. So understanding proportion was really difficult. And in art school, I feel like it's such a rushed process and everyone kind of develops at their own time. But what I've always really enjoyed is all of this like flowery, very decorative, like this pretty much is similar to what I do on my face when I do like skull makeup or anything like that. Yes, of course, Lady Zelda. It's okay. Thank you so much for popping in for Lord Gregor as well. Thank you. You guys are so wonderful. Thank you so much for taking even a second to be here. Thank you. I appreciate you so much. And everyone check out Miss Lady Zelda. She has another channel. I think it's called Still Case. And on Monday, everybody just put it on the background. Let's get her the views. Okay. We got to help out our queen. Okay. Thank you very much. But thank you both for being here. I appreciate you. So so like I really love this. And a part of like the art process is finding things that kind of, yes, I am going to do Halloween makeup. Yes, I totally am. It's gonna be so, so cool. Like listen, I think a part of the vampy look today is because you had said there's like 99 days till Halloween, and that was very inspirational and it had to happen. So definitely. Yes, it's my favorite. Oh, I love it. I'm gonna do so many things like crowns and stuff, but I love this type of aesthetic. It's always been something I was very interested in. So I just found that, like, you know what? I'm not going to be, one of the greats when it comes to that thing. Like, I'm not the best at drawing or, doing everything as realistically. I don't apply much of my time to it, but I find my own art and my own style, and that's what counts. So this was kind of like something I was very proud of. It's kind of giving Terry Doria. Listen, Miss Terry. Miss Terry. Let's see what I got in here too. I know I did I did this one. I know I showed this one before. Very different, but like the beginning of the I series. So, that was a whole other thing. But you know what? We are 11 minutes in, and I really want to get to doodling and talk about this topic because it's a lot. So let's start with, let's see, I'm still figuring out our cam here and how this is going to go. Of course, Life Artist. I cannot wait to see what Miss Life Artist is doing. Yes, I cannot wait. Yes. So I'm going to go in with I don't even know what this brand is, honey, but I know that it definitely wasn't as expensive as the art supplies in college. So I'm very grateful to Amazon for creating acrylic markers and all of these things for all of us to enjoy. So I'm going to just start doodling. And the cool thing about this is there is no rhyme or reason. We're just doing a whole bunch of lines, and we're going to go in with silver per Lady Zelda's request. So let me just shake it up, pump it up, because that's how these markers work. And let's get started. Where are we going to start? All right, I'm just going to start over here and just do a lot of like little squiggles. This is my brain on the daily, you guys. Hi, I have a lot of things going through my mind all the time, so this definitely helps me relax a little bit. But anyway, yeah, so today's topic is, can we separate the artist from the art? And I want to thank everyone who voted on the poll. It seems like most of you can or kind of feel like they are one and the same. And also for the very few who voted, it really depends. I really appreciate that because I think a lot of us aren't aware that, people who create, I was having this conversation with Terry, that a lot of art is born from not the nicest sources. And what I mean by that is we kind of channel the energy from like a pain, right? Or heartbreak. It's rare that it's like you hear stories of people creating things from a place of love all the time. I could be wrong, but I feel like even like all of the greats have been always creating things from a place of struggle, a place of heartbreak, etc. It's where most of the work becomes the best. And, with that said, if it's coming from a place that's dark or from a place that is hurtful, what is the story behind that, right? Like, is it because something happened to the person or is it because they did something? I don't know. So I will start this by giving a quick disclaimer to all the long gamers. Just what we're going to talk about does involve sexual things. Okay, it's a child, a minor involved, inappropriate behavior. And the reason why, I'm not going to go into detail, absolutely not, but this has been trending in the beauty community. And if anyone follows Jeffree Star or James Charles, you might have an inkling about what I'm going to talk about because it's really sad. So I don't mean to be a Debbie Downer on a Friday, but I'll put this all together in a second. So, and while I do that, I'm going to just focus because this helps ground me when I talk about really uncomfortable things. Like, it's hard to just be like, hey guys, so this happened. I can't do that. So something happened with a few years ago where James Charles is another makeup artist who became very famous on YouTube. And he was known for being very inappropriate on his Snapchat and social media by, sending inappropriate photos to people and not really vetting who the people were. So he would run into situations where he was inadvertently sending it to minors. And one of the minors who came out to basically call him out on it, his name is Ethan. And Ethan was 14 at the time and received a photo from James Charles because he had a prank with his friend going on that he was going to go onto James Charles's live and comment and hit him up directly, whatever. It's layers to this. So Ethan does that. James responds to him. I don't think that James knew how old he was or didn't properly vet him, and that is a problem. Ethan, I think, may have shared that with him at the time he was 14, and James still kept sending him things. And at the time, James and Jeffrey were arch nemesis. Like, they do not like each other whatsoever. And Jeffrey took that as an opportunity to capitalize on the fact that James was getting dragged on the internet for being a weirdo. So I think there might have been a situation where Jeffrey reached out to Ethan and kind of, helped him through the process while all of this stuff was happening. So he's a child reaching out, Ethan is a child, Jeffrey, now being another adult, reaches out to him to kind of help him out through the process because no one was believing Ethan at the time. People were blaming Ethan, being like, well, why would you message this celebrity? You want attention, et cetera, et cetera. Where are your parents? And to some level, it is valid, right? But, I still think that if you're the celebrity, there's a power discrepancy there where you should be the power imbalance is there. It's on you to make sure you're making the right choice and that you're doing the right thing. So fast forward to recently, Jeffree Star is seen on TikTok. And for the record, I do not have a TikTok. I don't like TikTok. I don't believe in TikTok. I don't do the TikToking. Okay. We're only clocking over here. And, there's a video of Jeffrey and Ethan now, who is about 20 years old. Ethan has chosen to have an OnlyFans or, only ceilings. I don't know how you're supposed to talk about it, whatever. Ethan is now doing that type of work. And he's on TikTok with Jeffrey and they're like hugging up on each other. Jeffrey's talking about his stuff, his bits. And I'm like, what's happening here? Weren't you helping this victim? And now you're doing weird sexual content-ish, talking about his package and like rubbing up on him, and he's calling you big mama and all this weird, like, what is happening? Granted, I know that like James is his arch nemesis, but like you're literally on the internet hanging out with your arch nemesis victim while also simultaneously sexualizing him. And here's the discrepancy here, or what the problem for me is, it's like, one, that's highly inappropriate. I mean, I don't care if Ethan is an adult. He was a child victim of being exposed to this type of inappropriate behavior. It probably does explain to some level that he's doing this type of work on OF, right? And I could be wrong, and it's no judgment to him. He's free. He's an adult. He's a man. He can do whatever he wants to do. And, Jeffrey was very instrumental in the beauty community. And I own a lot of his palettes. A lot of the work that I've done, like makeup looks, involved his products. And I'm just kind of like, do I burn everything now? Do I throw everything out now? Does all of that stuff not count anymore? Because like there's this situation that happened that like he's behaving in a manner as someone who's almost 50, behaving in a manner that is highly, like, I know sexual stuff is a part of his brand. That's what he likes to do. But it's a step too far, in my opinion, to bring the victim of someone you hate, who is now an adult. You're 20 plus years older than him, and you're almost doing the same thing. Like, I don't know. Like, it's hard for me to really wrap my head around how that makes sense. And I don't think that it does, because it's not right. So, you know, and Nurse of Interest, great point. R. Kelly, Michael Jackson, all of these people. I mean, also, like, no disrespect to the artists from before, but we don't, like, for some of the greats, we don't know their history, right? Like, we don't know if they were involved in anything that was inappropriate or whatever the case may be. Sorry, I'm just like pumping my marker over here, because, you know, acrylic markers, I don't know if you could hear that. Oh, the memories, the art school memories. But sometimes like the paint gets stuck, so I have to like kind of pump it, and especially since I'm talking, I'm not really focused. But so all of this is happening, and I'm just like, is it possible to separate that? Because, you know, like in the case of Michael Jackson, I think that those accusations were conveniently placed on him at a time where he was about to leave Sony, allegedly, right? Like, I don't know, I wasn't there. I'm just speculating. This is my opinion. And he was going to be starting his own music label, right? So if you think about that, it's like, all right, well, here's this man. That's great that he's very popular. He gained so much fame and notoriety, like just being himself and like changing music and creating music that so many people resonated with. And then all of a sudden, it's like he has all of these accusations on him, whether they're true or not. We don't really know. You know what I mean? But then does his mark on history get distorted and deleted? And what if it's not true? Like in the case of Jeffree, I mean, he's putting it out there. He's making content out of it, right? And Ethan is a grown adult. He's free to do what he wants to do. But, you know, someone who is exposed to this type of stuff at such a young age, like, it makes me wonder, like, are you only doing that because you were kind of exposed to it so young that you never got an opportunity to really develop also what your interests were at the appropriate age? You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to like dance around the topic because I know that it's, you know, a triggering topic, and, you know, I don't want to offend anybody or ever, you know, say anything that is triggering. So I'm trying to be as delicate as possible. See why I wanted to doodle and didn't want to like really focus on something really crazy, because this type of stuff happens. And I mean, the reality is that as much as it's a sensitive topic, it does happen all too often. And we have to bring awareness to it to some level, because like, it's not right. You know what I mean? So I've been, you know, following what's been going on with Jeffree and Ethan, and I'm not sure if they've had a relationship, if you know what I mean. I don't know that. I don't want to know that, to be honest, but even if that's the case, that just makes it worse. So I don't know, like, is it possible that there's a man who created makeup where someone like me, like, loved what he did. The creativity was beyond anything I'd seen at the time. He transformed the makeup game. So many people became makeup artists because of it and used his products that it's like, is it all tainted now? I don't know. That's a question that I really have for all of you. Like, does that taint everything now? Do I have to burn all of this stuff? Do I have to do a seance to kind of like get rid of the energy? I don't know, honey. Like, it's just really uncomfortable, you know? Like, it sucks, because it's like, why can't we have nice things? Why can't artists just come from a space of love and light? Why does everything have to be from this dark aspect? Like, you put your faith in someone and then you get so disappointed when you find out what they're really about. And that is devastating, you know? And then especially with something so delicate, with all the files, if you know what I mean, coming out, and then like nothing gets done about it. It just really sucks, you guys. I don't know. It's really hard for me to understand how to really wrap my head around that. So is it possible to separate the artist from the work, or are they one and the same? I don't know. I'm in the process of figuring that out too. Hold on, pause. Hold on. I can't handle this many wonderful people coming into my chat like in 2 weeks. Hold on, stop it. Man, stop it. Man, thank you so much for being here. Stop. This, like, thank you so much. Like, I am just so grateful that all of you are here, but it's just to see, like, you know, the heavy hitters also come in. I mean, obviously all of you in the chat are so wonderful to me and I love you all, but like to see like the people who like have voices on the internet just come to like my little channel is so wild. Thank you so much for being here. Stop it. Listen, the expectation, look, Miss Nan does not play, okay? She does not play. She's out here doing the Lord's work, okay? She is calling it how she sees it. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. That's so wild. Oh my gosh. I can't. Between like Lady Zelda, Lord Gregor, Captain Harris, now like JFK shouting me out. Like what in the Jupiter is happening? What in the Jupiter in Leo is happening, you guys? Miss Boston Brandy, I had the same reaction. I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm just like, I can't. It's so incredible. Like, thank you so much. And you're like watching me doodle. Actually, while you're here, you can see like this part. This is what we're kind of doing a rendition of, is this. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I know I'm kind of doing something a little different than everyone else. It's like, I feel like everyone's kind of doing, you know, they have their commentary on everything. So I kind of feel like this is my way to contribute to at least alchemize some of this negative energy and to give a little bit of love for everyone. Like, do something fun because the world is burning. So we might as well draw together. Because Lord have mercy. Like, everybody want to go jail? I don't know. Listen, there's a lot going on here. But yeah, so I'm showing kind of the process right now of how to like get all of this done. And just talking about the artists and if we can separate the art from the demons that are attached to them, because I'm just having a hard time. So like I have all this makeup from Jeffree Star, and they're beautiful collections, and I invested so much money because I believed in this man. And then it's like he's doing all these like weirdo activities. I'm like, sir, why did you just ruin this for us? For the people, like, I mean, I got into makeup because of him. And that was just like, it hurt my soul, like to see that, like his behavior towards this young man, and then to like use him in that way, it just felt so dirty and icky, and like I can't do that. So no. Will I burn everything? Probably not. Will I share it? It kind of comes with a disclaimer now, okay? It's gonna have to like come with a disclaimer, because I can't support that. And especially if it's like involving children and minors, and like, no, guys, like adults being jerks to each other is different than adults messing with children, okay? We're not doing that. Nope, absolutely not. Nick Barrows, absolutely not. Nan, do you like to draw too? Please. You know I'm in the New York area, girl. Yes, I would love to. I'll bring my notepad. We can kiiiii. We can cheers to that. Yes. Oh, y'all looking at my beveragino. Stop it. It's National Tequila Day, everybody. If that's your vibe, arriba, okay? But yeah, man, oh my God, that would be so cool. I would love to, for sure. That'd be so cool. Hi, Peggy, welcome. Thank you, Raka. That means so much to me. Thank you so much. You guys, I cannot. What is happening? Lordeth, what did I do to deserve this wonderful blessing? I don't understand. It's so beautiful. I'm just very grateful. Thank you. Yes, listen, and Miss Nan y'all not gonna tell me that Miss Nan, her lip is always on fleek, okay? I'm bringing back on fleek because Miss Nan, oh, she literally sent me the secret sauce to her beautiful lip, and I'm like, listen, girl, the products have been ordered, okay? We are waiting. I have to like kind of pick like the colors that work for me. Listen, tequila's always in the chat on a Friday, honey, okay? Listen, mi reina, ya tú sabes, okay? But Miss Nan, listen, she knows what's up, okay? She's like combining the drugstore with the regulars, okay? She knows what's up. She knows her makeup. So it makes sense, of course. That's why you're always like on point, girl. Yes, I love it so much. Stop it. I love it. So this is probably going to take a long time, isn't it? So I'm over here chit-chatting and just like wanting to chat with you ladies. Oh my God. And maybe a gentleman somewhere in the chat, okay? But yeah, like, I don't know. I just feel like it's just so disappointing. And I think that's why I'm in my sad girl era right now, because I'm finding this news out after so many years of supporting Jeffree, and just to see his behavior as someone who's like literally almost 50. And look, he looks great. I'm not going to lie, but he got all the coins to be able to do all the treatments, honey. He's a vampire. I'm convinced. But it just sucks because it's like you want to support that person and then you're disappointed by their actions. And this is just not, there's no excuse for this. It just felt really dirty. It felt wrong. And, you know, I think that maybe it's because we're living at a time right now, and especially in this community that I am speaking to, since we all gathered here for a very specific case, I do think that the veil is lifting on a lot of stuff. And like, we're seeing things clearly. And we are seeing that sometimes, you know, we want to believe in people. We want to support people. But then what happens when they disappoint us? And can we forgive that? Can we separate the work that they actually did from the behaviors they're exhibiting? Did those behaviors help get the results or, you know, lack thereof? You know, I mean, you're kind of witnessing, in my opinion, what happens when you get a little too famous or you get a little too much power or popularity. It can destroy people. And that is to some level what happened to Jeffree. I don't think Jeffree has ever really been held accountable. And we've kind of seen inklings of what he's been into. But this just kind of like, I'm just so disappointed. That's really like what I have to say about that. It's so disappointing. And in this particular scenario, I can't separate the makeup from the man. I will no longer support this person ever. And as a makeup artist, you know, in my own right, you know, I'm not like a professional, but I do love to play with makeup. I love to do different looks and stuff. I will find other products and support other businesses, but, you know, it makes you think like, how many others that we don't know that aren't in the public that are doing weirdo things? You know, can you really trust anything nowadays? Why does everything have to be a disappointment? Like, why can't there be good influencers and people who are just here to do something like, you know, just uplifting? My gosh, everything is like, I'm tired, y'all. I'm tired. I'm so tired of being disappointed. And I'm not someone who usually like puts anyone on a pedestal. Like, I don't like to do that because everyone is flawed, and, you know, people are allowed to, you know, make mistakes, commit errors, and whoever those issues affect, if they choose to forgive them or not, that's their personal choice. But, you know, ultimately God is the ultimate judge, and you will be judged accordingly, even if you don't believe in him, right? So it's just very disappointing. And I don't know, it just really took me off guard, and it inspired this week's topic because as somebody, I really loved makeup because of Jeffree. And I would always look forward to his videos to see what was Jeffree Star approved. He's like, this is Jeffree Star approved. And I was like, oh my God, I need to buy like 5 of the elf dupes of the Tatcha, you know, whatever it is. Because he would always do that. He would review all of the expensive luxury brands and compare them to all of the drugstore brands. And I was like, here for it. Cause, like this is during the, C-19 era. A lot of people lost their jobs and, we didn't have that kind of money but we still wanted to do something and feel good. And Elf really came through for a lot of people. Okay. And it was wonderful. So I really looked forward to seeing that. So I don't know. What do you people think in the chat? Can we separate it? Is it really dependent on circumstance? And also, we can't really delete the history, right? We can't remove them from history because they are a part of it. And even though the ending isn't as great as the start, they still created a very influential mark and in history in that particular space. So if you've noticed, I've kind of gone and really outlined, and now what I'm doing right now, just take a quick break to kind of show you where my mind is at with all of that. I'm going to just like kind of create these like little half moons in between all of these corners, and we're going to fill them in with the white. I agree, Miss 808, when it pertains to that too. Like I can't overlook that either. And I don't think it's only just, abuse in the sense of just children. It's like also treatment of others. Like, what gives anybody the right to be treating people like this? Like, who woke up and decided to do that? Like, I mean, I don't know who gave you the cojones, okay? In Espanol, we say cojones, to think that that's appropriate. And why is it that there's no accountability for that? I feel like accountability for all these deviants takes forever. What is happening? Why are we waiting for justice for this type of stuff? Like sometimes I'm like, Lord, can you explain this to me, please? I can't. Yes, financial abuse too. That's another one. Financial abuse. In Jeffrey's case is leveraging the power dynamics, knowing that he is more of the authoritative figure there because he is the one that's popular with more followers. We see it all the time. And he did that with Ethan. And I hate that. I hate to see it. It's like, like I had mentioned on one of my streams, I was just like, I had heard a rumor that Bob Ross was like a weirdo and he would paint the locations of where he buried the bodies. And that's where all the happy little trees were. I was like, listen, y'all not going to ruin my childhood because I am Babalina Rosalina, honey. No. And I ain't burying nothing. Okay. I don't play with that. All right. I don't know what he's doing with that. No, absolutely not. So it's like, imagine if it is true, like happy little trees don't have the same life artist. It's like, he did not. Listen, I'm inclined to believe you, girl. I'm just saying, I heard the rumor. It's a rumor. It's alleged for entertainment purposes only, okay? I don't know if it's for sure. But at this point, is anybody surprised? This is the Diablo's playground. He loves to thrive here, and it's the only place he can thrive. And I'm like, how did I get duped into coming here? How did we get duped into coming here, you guys? I don't understand. Like, leave us alone, por favor. Gosh, we're just trying to like live in love and light. My gosh. Yes, right? Like, we can't be surprised. Like, if it was true at all, like, what's the T on, pause. He was not the most loyal. Now Bob Ross spreading his little afro around. You better stop, Bob Ross, sir. Excuse me, senor. Listen, he was cheating on his wife. Oh, look, but even that, okay, so if he was cheating on his wife, does it make him less of a great artist? No, I mean, he's still a great artist, but he's just maybe a jerk. You know what I mean? Like, listen, should I not claim Babalina Rosalina anymore? I feel like it's a whole new identity, but I mean, listen, I didn't know he was like that. You see, you got to be careful with these quiet folks, okay? Listen. His perm. His perm, listen. Oh gosh, no, Miss 808, no. Listen, RIP to Bob. He's not here to defend himself. I'm not going to do him dirty like that. You know what? He was a very big part of my childhood. But like even that, like it's like all these people are weird. Like the Dan Schneider guy, like I mean the Nickelodeon dude, like he's another one. Another one. Another one. The Bush, yeah. Man, Miss 808. She is the funniest person. Like this chat is so funny. These ladies are the best. I am just so grateful for this little community. Like it's just so awesome. But yes, he was, you know what? He was a sangano. That's what you call in Spanish, a sangano. He was doing very sangano things. He should not be cheating on his wife. All right. Gosh, even Bob Ross, there ain't no hope for nobody. Why he gotta be like that? Gosh, I don't know. But you know what I will say though is that I think that the part of what I was reflecting on after the Jeffrey news and just kind of getting over it and stop being in my feels. Like I am very sensitive. Like I do feel things very deeply. And especially when I believe in something, like I don't want to believe that everyone is evil. You know what I mean? Like, is it just me? NH dude, oh my gosh, thank you so much. Oh my gosh, NH dude, shout out to you. You're just so awesome. Thank you so much for being here. I'm just so grateful. Thank you, our one gentleman. Yes. But yeah, like, how awesome is that stuff, you guys? I feel so blessed and so loved. I don't even know. Steve, yes. Like, I don't even know how to act right now. Like, I'm like, this concealer is not holding it together. The Laura Mercier, honey, is not even containing the smile lines I am developing from the happiness I feel. Thank you so much. It's so awesome. Like, I can't even deal. Like, y'all are watching me draw and chit chat and be a whole content creator. Ah! I can't. Yes, a man has arrived, honey. Yes, yes. He has shifted the estrogen balance, period. Period. Yes. Please pick up if you have a pencil and pad or whatever. Please join me. Just do some squiggles and then just start filling them in. And Steve, since you're here, I don't know if you saw it earlier, but I'll just show you what I did. This is what was born out of all these squiggles. So we are going to go in with silver per Lady Zelda's request because I want to honor our Queen Lady Zelda. But that's kind of what happens, right? Isn't it so cool? I like to call them the gentlemans, okay? The gentlemans have arrived. Thank you for being here. All the gentlemans who choose to be here, thank you. So yeah, the Nickelodeon guy, Nick Schneider, like so much of my childhood. And then you see all of these children, these child stars that become adults and, you know, they're clearly not well, you know, like some of them did not grow up to really have successful careers like in Ariana Grande. And, you know, God bless her. Like, I know that that girl, whatever she is going through is, you know, what she's going through, and may she find healing through all of the things that she is experiencing. I can't imagine what it's like to be on a Nickelodeon show with that guy and then become a megastar and not have any time to process what happened. You know, like that's pretty wild. Like I don't wish it on anyone. That's a very difficult life. And I think in those circumstances, it's important to show a little bit of empathy, even though it can be hard sometimes. I just choose to at least be a little bit more empathetic to people like that because, you know, we don't know what it's like to be super famous and to have had that experience. And I wouldn't want that, to be honest. I really, really wouldn't want it at all, you know? But what I will say is, I guess a way of alchemizing all of this energy and all of the things, the disappointment, is to create something. And the piece that I just made before, I'm such an artist, was to kind of like keep myself grounded in my feelings of like what was happening because it was disappointing. And that's what my brain felt like. It feels like this. I'm like, what is happening, you guys, in this world? Why does it feel like we're just like being exposed to all of these atrocities and nothing's getting done about it? The artists, the music industry, you know, regular people, it's like, it's been under our noses this whole time. And then we see it and it's like this, all this stuff has formulated a lot of our memories. How do you like fix that? How do you make peace with that? Nan, so these are acrylic markers. I'll send you the link. I think of all of them, this is the best one, the Posca brand. They're acrylic markers. You can get them on Amazon. They're really cheap. I'll send you all the ones that I have because I had started doing this out of nowhere. And yeah, it does. Yeah, it looks like the Matrix, right? I mean, listen, allegedly we're in a Matrix right now. Okay. I don't know if it's true, but allegedly. Okay. I do feel like we're in like an alternate universe because this cannot be real life. Okay. This is not what the Lord said was heaven on earth. Okay. Not all this corruption, honey. Not all this deviancy, honey. No, he did not ask us to have this on the earth. Oh, Lord. Now I got stuck. Hold on. That happens when you press the little tip a little. Oh, listen. It's Friday. Happy Tequila Friday. Happy National Tequila Day, okay? I pressed it too hard and the tip got stuck, okay? Stop it. Get your mind out of the gutter. But we're all adults here, okay? I always set this to 18 plus, and even then I think it should be like 25, okay? When your brain stops developing, all right? Like, that's the only time it's appropriate. Right? Yes, life artists. Yes, it's important. Like, I feel like we kind of get like, especially for all of us, like I noticed this too with, like I've always been like this. I feel like my soul and my body reject this this earth so much or this version of reality so much that I'm just like doodling to kind of like make sense of the fact that I'm here so that I don't have to disassociate and go into another dimension, honey, because apparently we all have a mission to be here and to do these things. So at least this stuff kind of helps with keeping the peace and keeping us grounded. So let's continue. So I'm just going to keep doing these. There is no rhyme or reason when it comes to this stuff, you guys. Like, that's what I love about this doodling process, because in the end, you don't know what you're going to get. And as someone who is an earth sign, a fixed earth sign, might I add, it is very, 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 very difficult for me to not be methodical and plan my life out. I like structure. I like to know where I'm going. I like to know what I'm doing. I like punctuality. In that respect, like I worked a corporate job before I kind of went on my own and was afforded an opportunity to be a stay-at-home mom. My husband was very like awesome about it. And also it kind of came at a time when C-19 happened. And also that I've been very blessed to pursue what I want to do. So what was I saying? Oh my God, I lost my train of thought because I was so into this. You see? So anyway, there is no rhyme or reason. I like structure. So when I'm able to do things to kind of anticipate something that is born out of not knowing and just going with the flow, I love that. And I'm learning to embrace more of the unknown now, because I would rather just hope that things are going to be okay than to constantly be putting myself in situations that are just toxic as hell, you know? And for those who have been here for a little while, you already know, like, I'm trying to step away from true crime more and more. This particular stuff that got us all here together is a little bit different because I feel like, you know, I started from the beginning. I have to see the whole thing through. But in terms of new cases and stuff, like, if all this stuff happened with Karen Reed, like I said on JFK's show, is it really any surprise that other communities would get just as dicey or divisive? It's hard. And that's the sad part, because it's like some people can't control themselves, that it makes it difficult for the families of these victims and for people to be able to contribute their help, because then you have some lunatic, you know, going crazy over here or abusing their power or trying to be famous off of the expense, or rather exploiting the tragedy, and they're not here for the right reasons. And I don't stand by that either. Like, it's like, yo, like, people's lives have changed. Like, people have lost their loved ones, and here are people, like, you know, acting a fool only about them and themselves and filling their own pockets. And it's like, well, what about these families? They don't have the luxury to do that. They don't. They need the resources. They need the help. But, you know, everybody's here fighting online battles of like really irrelevant stuff, or like changing the story and focusing on stuff that doesn't matter. And it's like, and, you know, causing real damage out here. It's not right. It's like, I can't stand by that anymore, you know, like, and then we also have some like weirdos in our communities. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of people that I'm like, should we check your hard drive? I don't think we want to check your hard drive, honey. No. It's giving very much suspicious, okay? It gives, we need to call the authorities to check your laptop. No shade. It's just a fact, you know, like you got to be careful with that type of stuff out here, especially if you're a content creator. And when you choose to put yourself out there, like, you know, not for nothing, like, you know, Nan has put herself out there, her business and the things that she's had to go through is wrong. Like, all right, you don't agree with her. Do you really need to do all of this extra? It just doesn't make any sense to me. Aren't we all supposed to be adults? Isn't the focus to, like, the fact that someone that is an attorney wants to help, to give their feedback on what's going on? That's a privilege in itself, because we don't, normal everyday people don't have access to that. We only get access if, like, let's say we pay for, you know, a retainer to talk to an attorney for 30 minutes because we need help in our own situation. So to have an attorney come on and be able to share their insight on how the law works and to educate the people for free, y'all need to miss me with all this extra stuff. Oh, because you don't like her or whatever. Who cares? Like, she's out here supporting everybody. Like, and you people are like literally like dragging her for what? Like, what is the point? What you're mad, it seems like, is that she's a professional. She's an attorney. She's doing her thing. She's in her car. She lives her life. All right. Use that as something to aspire to versus trying to trash it. It just doesn't make sense to me. And it's not just also Nan, it's everybody, even the content creators who try to like make stuff. Like, look, I'm going to say this, even though, you know, this isn't drama stuff. This is just like, because, you know, I see it with Nan, and Nan is an attorney and she's very careful about what she says. And, you know, she's also a human. If she wants to go off, let her go off. I mean, more power to you, because, you know, I'm trying not to go off too much because I feel like, you know, it's kind of expected for, you know, a Latina girl from New York City with the hoops to go off. And I'm trying to break the stereotype. I don't know. But also I do go off behind the scenes. I mean, I have to release it. And it feels good to say certain words. But, you know, I did watch JFK's stream last night. And this other creator who is a professional or has many years experience in her field, in psychology. I have to say, like, ethics are forgotten in a lot of things. And if someone is not your client, I just don't think that you should be diagnosing anyone. I think therapy talk and all of that stuff has gotten way out of hand in our community. It's easy to throw away the narcissist. You know, now everyone is saying it. And respectfully, knowing that you have that type of leverage, and because your stats and who you are carries a certain level of credibility, your words carry weight for certain communities. So being mindful of that is important, because you don't know what someone's going through. And to have that type of accusation or that, you know, infamous word, that diagnosis, that cluster B word that gets thrown around, everyone's that term, you don't know how that could impact somebody. Like, outside of the internet, people have real lives. And in a lot of situations, people have children, people have families. And respectfully, I hold people in certain professions to a higher standard, because it's a privilege to be in these professions. And, you know, you're a very smart person to be able to have a master's degree, to carry certain licenses. And, this is a part of what our system, our society is built on, right? Ethics matter even after you're not licensed or after you leave. And when you have the ability to influence, you have to be careful what you're saying. And I know that on this internet, it's very easy to get caught up with like the appearances, with, the views or whatever the case may be. And that might not even be it, right? You don't know. But due diligence is important, because we've lost that. Aside from people losing their ability to be able to think critically, we've lost the ability to do our own research and stick to what we feel is right or whatever is in alignment for us, right? So I was a little disappointed because, not for nothing, like when you have someone like that coming for you, like to me, automatically, like I felt bad for JFK. Like, I'm not going to lie. I felt bad. And not because I'm associated with the show in some degree or that I've been there, etc. It's not about that. It's just on a human level. It doesn't matter if it would have happened to him or to anyone else. When you have that level of power and you have those credentials and you have those accolades, and those matter in our world and in our system because they basically give you credibility, please be mindful of how you use that. Please be mindful of that. Because everyone is quick to throw away these terms at everybody, right? Oh, you're the narcissist, you're this, you're that, you're the third. What? We've normalized not even keeping something that people went to school for. Like, we've normalized using these terms, but there's ethics to all of this stuff, you guys. And I've said this before. Is it going to take for something tragic to happen, God forbid, for people to actually calm down and stop? Take a second to think about what you're doing. And that's for everybody. That's not just exclusive to content creators. That's also to people in chats. Y'all are also part of the problem. Respectfully. You are. Because, it's easier for you to hide behind the things that you do and to create a burner and do whatever, but you don't know whose life you're impacting with the things that you say. Trolling people, like doing all this extra for what? Maybe you should doodle. Why don't you come watch me doodle? Maybe you should doodle. But for this specific content creator, I'm not going to name her directly, only because, I think that that's another part of how I choose to move and navigate these streets. I'm not playing God in anyone's life to influence people in terms of directly attacking somebody like that, or I try to be fair in a lot of things. But this one really, really bothered me because it's like, dude, you just don't do that. You just don't do that. You don't. Not as a professional. And that's sad to see it, And look, JFK handled it very well. I'm not going to lie. He really did. He really handled it very well, considering that he knows what it is to be dragged, what it is to have all of these things happen. He knows. So that to me was just it's good that he stood his ground and had his back, to just be like, this kind of sucks. At some point we have to expect better from people. We shouldn't lose sight of that. And, everything that's been going on for the last year. I mean, it's been a year, over a year since Karen was found not guilty. And it just feels like we're still stuck in the same cycle. The same people attacking, the same nonsense happening. At what point does it stop? New people spawning from the pits of hell. You know what I mean? At least I came out of this thing hey, you want to draw? You want to bake something? You want to make a flower crown. I know you want to make a flower crown. Okay. It's like, are we that are we that bored and desperate for attention, guys? Like, come on, man. Some of y'all are parents out here. Don't you need to pay attention to your babies? You know, these iPads are like, you know, creating monsters. There's predators on iPads. You should be focused on what your children are watching, okay? You should be paying attention to that. And even like this topic today also applies to content creators. Can we separate the creators from the work that they do? And even then, even when you try to give people credit, it's like, oh, but you don't support them all the way, so therefore you're still an op. And it's like, oh, we cannot win. There is no winning. None. No winning whatsoever. So, you know, I don't like to comment on this stuff too much anymore, just because, like, and it's not because I don't really care about the opinions of others, but I also can say that from a space of not being piled on, you know, not having that type of exposure. And to be honest, like, everyone, I feel bad for people who have gone through that. It's not right. I mean, in my own little verse over here, I went through a very minor version of it, but thank God that I have the right support system around me, and that I have the strength and faith in God to keep me grounded, that I don't let those things completely obliterate me. Because you don't know, like, what someone's mental state is when you're publicly coming for them. Even someone like a Nan, who has her life together and has a prestigious position as an attorney, has her own business, is a boss in her own right. You don't know what she's going through, and you're over here doing all this stuff because you think it's funny to, like, you know, degrade somebody or to, like, talk about people. And that's like, it's just so dumb. It's like, come on. Then it's like, then I look at you and it's like, I supported you once and now you're acting like this. It's like, were you really like this all along? And was I just like not seeing it? That's so disappointing. But I can't delete you from history, because it's like, you're a part of this. Even if I don't mess with you now, you're still a part of it, you know? Hi, Miss Michelle Beach. Listen, Miss Michelle Beach has entered the tan competition between Jay Brill and I respectfully will concede if she enters, because she wins. Okay. She won. She won Best Tan Award. Okay. She is the tan goddess. All right. She is the tan goddess. And I love that for her. Yes. Or Michelle Beach, our queen. And look, and Michelle Beach is somebody who, you know, has her own opinions, and I can have a great conversation with her and love her for who she is, because she's not defined by her opinions on a case, you guys. It's okay. But I will say, like, you know, shout out to JFK for handling himself, like, in such a mature manner, and for the way he handled it, because having a therapist or someone who was a psychologist, not a therapist, and I'll retract that because I'm not sure if she was, but according to her page, she has 25 years of experience. I give him a lot of credit for handling it the way that he did, even though the other side can find some glory in, you know, feeling like, oh yeah, well, she's going to diagnose you. It's not appropriate. It's just not. Respectfully, it's just not. I don't care who you are. Don't abuse your positions. Don't abuse that, because you know what? The reason why these things are so prestigious and why they matter so much is because of the time and effort and money that it took for you to actually get your degree, do whatever it is that you were doing. And now here you are, like all these other people, now you're having to fight because now you have somebody who has, you know, a substantial number of followers throwing out these, you know, accusations and these terms, you know, not really doing their due diligence. And girl, you're making it bad for everybody else who wants to do this stuff. Like, did you think about that? What is the psychological term for that? And let me tell you something to all the psychological people. Psychology and therapy and all of those things are actually divine wisdom. It's not a clock it episode, but I'm gonna need y'all to clock that. Okay. Where does therapy and all this stuff come from? Where was it born? People making observations, learning lessons. Sounds like the Bible had a little bit of that. Sounds like certain texts were teaching us those things. It just became an education. It became something that people started to specialize in and gave them the authority to be able to diagnose others because others couldn't see themselves or couldn't see their own behaviors. But now it's turned into everyone is a therapist. Everybody is abusing their position. Uh-oh, Miss Michelle. What happened now? What happened now? You were in the sun today. Stop it. You're a beautiful girl. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Stop it. You're beautiful. So look how cool this is. Like, just quick pause. So as we're doing this, like, I love just kind of going with the flow. And I think that that's a part of the beauty and making this type of art is that because there is no rhyme or reason, it's kind of developing its own style. And it's already different than what I did before. I don't know if I'm going to do the lines this time. I'm really feeling like all the bloobs and blobs. It's kind of giving blooby and blobbly. I like that. I think it's very interesting. So we're going to keep going with that. But I love it's kind of like, you know, how the peacock feathers look a certain way. I love that. It's very cool. It's very organic, very amoeba. Is that what it is? An amoeba? Organic, lovely. I love this. Very cool. Oh, and you guys, wait, hold on. Let me put myself over here. Hold on. Did I do this right? Hi. Hi. Listen. So because we are in Jupiter and Leo and it is Leo season, happy Leo season to all of the fabulous Leos out there, my fire baddies, I decided to launch another baby channel because I am a Taurus and I love to snack. My new channel that I have going on, I haven't posted anything yet. It's in the works. It's only going to be shorts. I'm only going to do snacks or like versions of snacks and trying them. But listen, we are on a health journey. So I am not going to be like, let's try like 5 different snacks in one video. No, we're going to do a couple of snacks here and there. Maybe one is good. I think one is good. Okay. But it's called Chimi Eats. I'm going to put the link in the description because I'm so excited about it. So if you have a second, please go over there and subscribe. It is my new, I'm going to be reviewing all of the things that we get because my daughter loves, like one of the things that we bond over is all of like the different snacks. And there's this one content creator that we watch that buys a whole bunch of stuff from Trader Joe's. So we like get really excited to see what they're going to drop. And since Trader Joe's always like has new things coming out, I'm like, I'm buying all these snacks. Why don't I just share with the people that if something's good or not, you know, is it a yay or a nay? I don't know. So Chimi Eats is my new little baby channel. I will be posting content there very soon, but I'm very excited about it because you know what? As a Taurus, I get to fulfill part of my like my destiny. Eat for the people. You know what I mean? Yes, lots of little snacks. Listen, Miss Harris, I'm already, next week, we already know what time it is. I'm going to get that whiskey and we're going to cheers to you. Yes, we are. And Miss Erin, I don't know if Miss Erin's here, but Miss Erin is also a Leo. Yes, she is. Cheers to the Leos. Happy Leo season. But I think it'll be fun. I think it'd be so fun to do like a little snack channel and it's a whole different vibe. It's going to be very simple. It's going to be very cute, very demure. We're going to do the ASMR sounds. So if you're not into that, just a heads up, there will be like crunchies and munchies. Okay. Because I've been like wanting to do lots of this since I started. And I'm like, is this my body? Is this the Lordeth giving me what I need to do? Possibly. All right. So let's switch this over again. Hi. And let's continue. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Captain Harris, our queen. Yes. I'm so excited. So y'all are going to have to fill me in on what happened yesterday. And you know what? Sometimes God is like, you need to go to sleep. Don't be in the chat today. Because I just started coming back to the chat for a little bit, but I mean, it's also to be expected that in these spaces, there are going to be moments of tension and some of y'all know. So, you know, it just is what it is. But as long as we can move forward, if you got to block, delete, ignore, then that's what you got to do. Okay. But yeah, shout out to JFK. He did a great job yesterday in handling everything. So that was great. And, you know, to that woman, I hope that she really reconsiders going forward and knows that her words carry weight and that she is more intentional and more careful about the accusations or the diagnoses that she chooses to throw around. We just need to be mindful of that for the sake of the profession and also for the sake of other people's mental health. You know, we don't know what people are going through. We got to be careful with that. And, you know, one thing I learned is your feelings are your problemo. I tell my daughter that all the time. Where are your feelings? And she points to herself. And I'm like, exactly. So if you need me to give you a hug, that's the best I can do from the outside. But on the inside, those are your responsibility, my love. You know, and if you need help with, you need to talk, that's different. Of course, you know, I'm always here for you. But we have to, like, you know, as adults, come on, you guys. We could do better, okay? All right, so I'm going to keep loobing and blobbins. And yeah, I mean, let's keep chatting. So what's happening? I'm reading a little bit of the chat. Is everything resolved, though? Is everything okay? That's what I want to know. Are we okay? You guys, are we fine? Someone missed something. What happened? ¿Qué pasó? Not someone coming from Miss Michelle again. Everyone needs to leave Miss Michelle alone. She likes the vibes. She has a different opinion. Let her live. My gosh. We're not doing that again. I don't understand. It's like, ugh, get it together. My God. Let people have their opinions without having to attack people. My God. It's like, it's so annoying, right? Life artists, like, I'm so over it. I'm so over this two-faced stuff too. It's like, come on, man. Like, we know what you're about. That's why I'm a big believer in block people. Even if they're in the chat, block them. You don't got to see it, and I don't play nice with everybody. I don't care. Respectfully, I don't. We did that last week, okay? Go check that episode. I'll clock it. I don't care. We can't care about everything all the time. Some people feed off of your attention. And I like to watch people starve when it comes to that, respectfully. You are not extracting out of this currency, baby. Absolutely not. You might have done it once, but you ain't going to do it again. Yeah, that's true too. Like, people are used to being divided about that. I mean, it's even with, like, the artists, like the topic we were talking about today. I got to bring it back around, you know, for all the replay people, because they're like, what are these people talking about? And very few know what we are referring to, which is also a blessing, to be honest. I don't know if you could hear that, but I'm trying to, like, work this thing. Yes. That is so true. Some people can't handle, like, that's where I'm like, you are an agent of chaos if what you want to do is argue all day, or you want to clock people. And it's like, what does that do for you? What do you think you're doing when that happens? Does that make your ego feel better? Does that make you feel better that you're doing something like that? You're coming for people. That makes you feel like you have some kind of power because maybe your life sucks. Your life must suck if you're trying to control people. And what do I tell you guys? If someone is trying to control something, they're trying to play God in your life. And last I heard, you are not God. Therefore, it is not welcome here. What are we doing? Oh, I think I like this bloobity blobby right here. Yes. And let me know, can I get a heart in the chat? Are we liking this, like, art style? Do we like this? This is going to inspire some of you to possibly try it for yourselves. Let me know. Put a little heart in the chat. Do we like this new cam? It's pretty cool, right? Oh my God. No, my love, it's okay. I understand. Trust me, I understand. And, you know, it's one thing that, like, I was actually saying this too, is that there is no escaping it, right? And I think that part of the reason why, like, I also kind of took a step back is because I don't think that even words of wisdom are even accepted all the way, because is it really going to change anything? You know, I don't feel like it is all the time. And I've just learned to listen to my inner compass. And, like, it's like, you know, sometimes it's good to just step away for a little bit, focus on yourself and do what you like to do. and come back when you're ready, if at all. Like I like to take long breaks from things. I think it's important. It's summer. I am definitely outside. And it's just great to just recalibrate the machine. It gets too easy to get like stuck into these situations, like you can get really warped into all of the noise. And if you don't have proper ways to ground yourself out of it, then yeah, it's a problem. It's going to be a problem. Yes, that is a skill, and I'm still learning that, like I will say that has been a very difficult thing for me, because it's not only my placement in my chart that's my wounded healer, is my Chiron is in Gemini, which is communication. It's knowing when to speak, when not to speak, and also that my words may not always be received the right way, and I just learned that, sometimes speaking the truth is going to come with a lot of enemies, you guys. That's just what it is. It's a fact. And it sucks, but it doesn't mean you stop speaking it, because this truth will be received when it's meant to be. And sometimes you're just meant to, like Terry. I always tell everyone, Terry is the angel that blows the trumpet. That's all she does. She just calls judgment. That's her role. And she doesn't have to do anything else but to pop into a space. Oh, are we doing loving kindness? Oh, we're not? Okay. like she's like, and then it's a wrap. Like literally, like I've witnessed it, you guys. I have witnessed Terry will come into a space and literally everything, like 2 weeks stop, she says, like literally, like she like will come into a space and in 2 weeks, like I have seen things shift completely. People getting exposed left and right. And sometimes that's your assignment, but she understands her assignment. You know what I mean? Like some of us are trying to fit sometimes an assignment that's not ours. Like, and I see that a lot with the very attention seeking behaviors. It's like, and again, I'm not a therapist. I'm not diagnosing anyone. It's just like desperation is what it is. Like that shows, and it's obvious to me, at least. Like, I see it very clear. And sometimes having vision, that 4K, okay, that 4K vision ends up creating a lot of enemies, because people do not like their masks to be ripped off. They don't. I can't imagine Jeffree Star woke up and was like, oh, yay, people are saying negative things about me. Actually, I take that back. He probably is very excited about it, because he probably has a makeup launch and he's going to sell a bunch of makeup, because all attention is good attention for some people. I just can't live like that. I'm like, y'all ain't tired of being miserable? God, like, please, por favor, please, can y'all like get it together? It's no shade. Because I've been some of y'all have seen me in my rah-rah siskumba, okay? Some of you have seen Chimi 2.0, because when I get pushed to the edge, that's when the troholio comes out, all right? Now we're clowning people. Now we're going to be payasos and payasas, okay? That's clown in Spanish. Payasos y payasas. Where is Miss Nurse of Interest to tell everybody to confirm? The clown. But I've learned too, and even in this like space, that even clowning people is like not even worth your energy. Because exactly that. There's so much. And, it's so interesting. I read your comment, Nurse of Interest. I read it as there's so much life to live. I just saw it just like that. I know that's not what you typed, but you know what? The Lordeth put it uponeth my eyes to see it like that. And that is a fact. There is so much life to live, and observation mode is great. Because sometimes, like, we got people out here on kamikaze mode, honey. Like, they're just revealing their hand about everything. Like, y'all really like to tell on yourselves. Calm down. Take a second. Did you go for a walk today? Did you go for a walk today? Did you get your 10K steps? Did you make yourself a good coffee? If you're not into coffee, did you have a nice tea? Did you write in your journal? Did you meditate? Did you draw some bloobity blobs on a piece of paper with some acrylic markers? Did you hug your kid? Did you thank God for a job and a roof over your head that you're not in a war-ridden country. I mean, we forget the little things, you guys. Some people are forgetting the little things. And it's like the more people are blessed, it's like some people just don't, they take advantage of those blessings. It's like, honey, if God wants to rip those out of your hands to teach you a lesson, those things are temporary. Yep. Yep. Very temporary. You got to be careful. It's here today, gone tomorrow. You got to be grateful. Yes, Miss Terry. When you observe, and he will show you what is really up. Yep, it's not easy, but I trust I'll be guided. Yes, I'm on the same level too. And sometimes, like, I can't explain it to people. Miss Terry knows, but like, sometimes I'm like, oh, I got to get out of here. My body's like, I got to go. And then I leave and I won't show up for a while. It's like I'm being called to something, to be silent, to watch and to wait. And as a Taurus, honey, I like to wait. Okay, I'm a very patient sign in a lot of things. Okay, very patient in a lot of ways. Miss Oxymorad! Oh my God. First of all, Miss Oxy is the only person who's still having trouble, like, with people seeing her and not seeing her. I see you. I see you, beautiful. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Oh, stop it. You guys. We're just drawing, doodling, and talking about art and all of those wonderful things. We touched on some other things as well. But thank you so much for taking the time to be here. I love that. Yes, I see you, girl. Cheers. Yes, it's a party now that you're here. We're going to cheers. Yes. But it was definitely in my sad girl era today. I was like, or just this week in general, after that news with Jeffree Star, I was just like, I'm going to listen to some emo stuff. I'm going to listen to like System of a Down. Why have you forsaken me? Like literally. Literally in my feelings. Oh, I was so sad. I'm like, no, not Jeffree too. Not Jeffree too, please. Oh, I can't take it. I can't take this stuff. Like so much disappointment. Are we going to get a break? Lord, where is the wrath? Can I just get the express out of here? Por favor. Please. I am ready to go whenever you call me, honey. Yes. I'm ready to be on my cloud. Have a cloud martini, honey. Yes. Yes. Literally, I have been in that mode. All sad. Just disappointed. I'm like, how much more disappointment? Wait, what's happening with a bird? What's going on? I saw, oh my gosh, speaking of birds, I saw an American goldfinch bird. It is probably one of the most beautiful birds I've ever seen. It's so gorgeous. It's yellow and it has like black and white wings. I didn't know it was very popular because around here we see lots of cardinals. And those aren't rare at all, but they're just so beautiful and just so vibrant. And then I see this like bird and I'm like, it's giving summer 2026, that yellow. I need that shade. I need that shade. Look at nature. Look at those beautiful colors. Honey, yes. And we're over here arguing over dumb stuff, honey. No. People acting crazy for what? But I also understand too, like people feeling the need of having to speak up. Like we have to, right? It's like damned if you do, damned if you don't. If you don't speak up, it's a problem. If you do speak up, it's a problem. It's like there's no, it's not a mid. Listen, Miss Melanie knows what's up. It was not giving mid. I don't know what's the most vibrant yellow that there is, but it was the most joyful color ever that I looked at that bird. I saw it in broad daylight. It was that bright. I'm like, look at the miracle of life that you're looking at this bird. Like, wow. Wow. It was so gorgeous. Such a gorgina. Such a gorgina. Love, 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 love. All right, I'm going to keep doing these bloobity blobbities before we get into some silver. But how are we feeling, ladies and gentlemen? How are we feeling? How is everyone doing? I can't believe it's almost the end of July. We're approaching August next week. So crazy. I can't even believe that. Like, stop it. It's already going to be August, and that's it. Summer's over. And then before you know it, it's spooky season. Yes, Miss Terry, it is important to speak out. And listen, I agree with that. It just sucks that, like, sometimes when you're trying to move on or you're trying to, like, you got to watch your words. It's a balance. It's a balance of knowing when to say things, when not to say things, when to keep them inside, and how to play the game right. And I think that meditation has helped me really understand it and how to find peace in certain situations that I don't have any control over. Like, I cannot control if somebody likes me or not. I can't control if somebody wants to be my friend or not. I can't control people's opinions about me. I can't control anything outside of this vessel, honey. Therefore, I can't give it the energy. And if it don't apply, let it fly type thing. Like, if that's how people feel, wonderful. You have a right to that. Take it up with the Lordeth, okay? And then when he humbleth, it was me. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I kid, okay? Yes, I love sweater weather. Stop it. I feel like sweater weather is when your makeup is so fleeky. It is so perfect. It's like the concealer never cracks. It is just perfection. The setting spray, just that mist. It just, like, your makeup lasts for like 72 hours. It is the best weather. I love sweater weather. I just, like, look, I grew up in the city, so I didn't really have a lot of exposure to coming up to the Westchester areas or like the farms in this area. And, once I discovered nature and trees, I'm like, I want to pick apples. Yep. In these hoops. Yep. I want to pick apples. I want to look at the little woolly caterpillars. I want to do all of those things. I want to have the apple cider with the donut. Yep. I want to do that. I want to watch myself stuff the bag. Like, Latinos were like that. Listen, if we're paying money for something and there's only but so much room in that bag, we're going to make use of that bag, honey. We are going to Tetris all of the apples to get our money's worth in that bag. All right. I'm not just putting them in there, like throwing them in there. Like, no, we're strategically adding them to the bag so we get the maximum space. Okay. Yes. Mucho dinero. Okay. We work very hard for our money. We are not wasting it. Okay. I want all the apples to fit very nicely. And then I will make all the apple butter with as many apples as I can. Apple pie, apple fritters, apple everything. I love it. That's one of the most exciting times of the year. And also, though, like, I think the season starts late August, if I'm not mistaken, and that's too hot for me. Like, I don't want to pick apples in the sun like that. That's too much for my life. But September, like mid-September, is a good time to go. But then I do know that late August is when some of the apples that we do like are kind of like already coming in. So like Honeycrisp apples, stop it. Listen, all we had in school was like those ugly red apples. That's why I had a disdain for them. I could not deal with those apples. I was like, absolutely not. We don't want these. And then I had a Honeycrisp and I was like, where have you been all my life? Literally, it was so good. It's just so delicious. And then I learned, like, oh, you can have apple with cheese and crackers. And then I learned how to make all of these things because, like, I didn't have a very American upbringing. I'm a first generation American. So a lot of the stuff that I grew up on was whatever the Latinos brought from the motherland, honey. Like, I wasn't watching American TV. I wasn't doing any of that. Like, so when I decided that, I was like, wow, I want to do more American things. I want to explore New York in a different way and see what all the girls are talking about with all those fall pictures, with like the hats and the scarf and the boots and the jeans. and holding the cup and the sweater and the gloves. Like, I love that. I want to do that. So I'm going to do it. Oh, Nan, please, if you would like to share that recipe, I will make it on this channel. I have live baked. It was a process. I made dot cakes. I don't know if you've seen the viral dot cakes. We did a patriotic version in July or in June for the 4th of July. So I am happy to make all the recipes. And I actually will probably ask all the people to send me your recipes. I know Donnie Not Wahlberg sent me a blueberry one. So I'm definitely going to make one of those. And that series will be dedicated to the people, to all the wonderful Chimi fans. And like, I don't want to call you fans. You're a part of the commune, my peoples, you know, we're all each other's peoples, you leaders. Okay. So I want to dedicate time to like cook some of your recipes. I think that would be really fun. Oh, nice. You have an apple orchard next to your home. Nan, I just started growing tomatoes. The people here know about the tomatoes. So to have an apple so nearby, so amazing. Oh, and you know that recipe is good if it's coming from the orchard, honey. Yes. Yes. I love that. Period. Oh, no. Who thought what's going on in the chat? Yes. Shh. We don't talk about the tomatoes. I'm technically not allowed to have them. But you know what? You're not going to ruin my gardening dream, okay? I have a commune to focus on, all right? The commune needs tomatoes. We need balsamic glaze, and we need Trader Joe's organic garlic olive oil. Please, people. That's probably one of the things I'm going to review on my little channel. That olive oil, you don't need to do anything else but just do some pasta and add that olive oil, and you will thank me later. That's all I'm going to say. So the people who have access to Trader Joe's, you got to do that. Yup. You get Honeycrisp from Amazon Fresh. You know what? They get it from somewhere, but what I will say is that did Bill Gates put that weird coating on them that they're like from like last year and then you're getting it and they're still fresh? I don't know how I feel about that. Although technically people like will store their apples in a basement, and if you keep it in a cool, dark place, they tend to last longer. So fine. Miss Michelle, you can't do any wrong in my eyes, okay? You're the tan goddess, the tan queen. We love you here. You know I love you. So let's see. So let's continue here. Oh, really? You know what, Nan? That's a great tip. I'm definitely going to try to do that too, because like I'm very blessed to have like hair, like thick hair-ish, but I'm noticing like as I get older, like, you know, things are changing. The hair pattern is changing and the texture, etc. So I'm just trying to preserve it as best as possible, but also trying to switch up the products I use. Like I don't wear makeup all the time, but I try to stay like away from as many chemicals in general. And I'm trying to look for good shampoo that's a little bit more natural. It's just hard to find stuff, but I think it's because your scalp, it doesn't work at first because your scalp is like, what is this? Where is the nexus, honey? We are used to like whatever the parabens or whatever that is that they put in these things. I don't know. And then your hair gets a dose, your scalp gets a dose of like, you know, the organic rosemary oil. And it doesn't even know how to act. It has no idea. At least for my hair. It just doesn't know how to act. And I have multiple things going on. I keep it up because usually the curl will curl for a day and then it frizzes. And I have different like patterns to my hair, like different curl patterns. I'm not very studied in all of that stuff, but that's allegedly what's going on. So let's see how we're doing. Let me focus a little bit more. I love the Blueberry Blobbies. We need some more here and here. So I'm going to do that as we continue to chat. But we're probably not going to stay here much longer just because, like, you know, this week has been kind of crazy overall. I have a story to share about, you know, a certain system, but I don't know yet if I should disclose that. Only because, you know, I'm not trying to be, I think that when you become an online person and you start doing things that are a little bit against the grain, you have to protect some of the things that you do. Like not everything I want to share, not because like I don't love to share certain things with the audience and with all of you people, but I just think that like certain things, there's a time and place to share them, and the internet isn't always the place for that. So I will reserve that for another time. I mean, once I like, monetize, if that's what the cards hold for me to monetize and to have like a members only, I'll probably keep that a little bit like where we can share a little bit, be more open with other things. But I also don't want to like do it so like give everyone everything. I do like having some privacy, but I do also have questions. So I think, I'll consult the Lord first. I'll meditate on it. And if it feels right to talk about, then I will do that. Exotic pets. I do feel bad for them. I do feel bad for them because you know what? People like don't know how to care for these creatures. And then you like have them because it's cool. And then you rip them out of their natural habitat. And it's like, no, leave them alone. Let them live. You know what I mean? Oh, Lord. I can't. So anyway, yeah. So to kind of like put a little bow on everything that we were talking about earlier, I do think that, yes, it does depend on certain circumstances, whether or not we can separate the artist from the work. I think it's just hard to like reason with the memories that you build with that. So like all the things I made with Jeffrey's palettes, he shared some of my work on his page years ago. Like all of those things were big milestones for someone like me who was just starting out and wasn't a professional makeup artist. I just did this for fun and I enjoyed it. So it just is like, to think that like some of that got tainted because like this is who he really is or a part of who he is. It just sucks, right? Like these people don't think about the casualties that come from their behavior. Like I think about that. Like I think about that even for my own life and for this space. Like I try to be super mindful of how I come online, and who I am outside of the internet is very on point with who I am here, Oh, good night, Nan. Thank you so much for being here. Yes, maybe we'll see you on a flight. If he's on a flight, totally. Like maybe tonight. It's a Friday, honey. Yes, we're gonna celebrate. Nan, I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for being here. It's an honor to have you here. Thank you so much for your love, your support, and your contribution to the chat. It's just been so awesome to have you here. Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh my gosh, you guys. Stop it. Lady Zelda last week, Nan this week. I mean, my heart cannot contain the excitement. I cannot, I don't even know how to act right now. I'm like, let me just doodle some more. It's so cool. Like, it just feels so surreal. Like, to just have that love and support, it just feels really awesome. And I'm just grateful because I don't, like I said, I don't like to really put myself out there like that. Like, I kind of want it to be organic, but when, it feels that way. And when it's organic and people want to be here, it just feels so awesome. Like it's so rewarding. And, I'm glad that I chose this path to just allow for things to happen and just let it be whatever it's meant to be. And it ends up being more rewarding that way. So it's just really cool. I feel very grateful. So let's cheers to that, y'all. I'm parched, honey. I'm parched. I've been talking for a little while. Let's cheers to everyone. Yes, they will. And in divine timing, I believe that 100%. I believe that all the way. I 1000% believe that. And, it's just so cool. And we all start somewhere. So I just feel like I'm very blessed to have these people who are established in whether it's YouTube or in their personal lives to come here to support me. That's crazy. That's wild. Are you kidding me? That's why I always stay gracious because, it's easy to fall into bad habits or to fall into wanting to be bad, right? Wanting to get into the tea of what's going on and all that stuff. But it's it's already been so overly saturated that was I participating in that at some point? Yeah, but it doesn't make me feel good anymore. Not entirely, you know, like sometimes you can't help it to be like, ay, Dios mío, I'm Latin. Okay, what do you want me to do? That's what Latinos do. All right. With a cafecito, you know, some Maria cookies, and we're sitting around. Ay, did you hear about that? Yes, it happens to the best of us. The observations, you know, let's talk about what in the what. But, you know, I do think that like everyone maybe holds me to a different standard. And because like of how I came on the internet. So like I'm kind of expected to be, you know, different, I guess. I'm not really known to be a certain way, you know, despite despite some efforts. Like it doesn't matter. Like the people that love you will love you. And you know, a part of it is just owning who you are, and that's important. So yeah, I'm held to a different standard, but instead of looking at it in a negative way, I look at it as an honor and a privilege to be there. Because it's easy to get on the internet and give your opinion and talk nonsense and do whatever. It's hard to maintain a level of integrity in owning and taking responsibility for your actions, but also like consistently showing different. Because I think that that's the part that gets lost. It's like for people who try to hold you to a version of yourself that you've outgrown, the only way to continue to thrive is one, to ignore those people, because those aren't your people, obviously, if they're trying to keep you trapped. And two is that you just consistently show to do different and be consistent about that, you know. And people know what energy feels like. If you go somewhere and the energy feels dense and heavy, even if it's an online space, you know it. And for the very many ladies that are here, and maybe the one gentleman, you know, when you walk into a space and it's like dark and heavy, you feel it. The minute any of this feels like that, I need to recalibrate, because that's not my message. I'm not trying to tear others or do any of that stuff. No. There's enough of that going around. I don't want to contribute to that. Nope. So, you know, if that feels like that, it's no, that's not, I don't want that. And I would recalibrate and refocus to do something different if that's the case. And I would take full responsibility for that. But it's easy to get trapped in that. I see it. And it makes obviously the most money, you know? But, you know, is it drama when it's your real life? That is the question, right? Like there were a lot of people that were hurt in this process. A lot of bad actors, a lot of people who turned out to be bad actors and who monetize off of someone's pain or, you know, ripping someone to shreds. It's like, for money, you know that when you make a pact like that with the devil, you're just going to have to up the ante to keep what you got, right? You're going to have to up the ante. You better hope that you don't have any skeletons in your closet when you're doing that type of stuff. If you want to be diabolical on the internet, honey, you better hope that your skeleton is absolutely, you got none in there. Because your deepest, darkest will come out. And it won't be because somebody has to put the effort to do something to you. You will automatically show it and the people will see it. The veil is very thin. Don't play with people out here, okay? Be careful. Be mindful of what you say and what you do on the internet. Be careful. That's a warning. And I like to warn people, not because it's directly at anybody, but it's because in this space in particular, it seems like people need to heed to that warning. Oh, yes. Why do we torture ourselves, Michelle? Why do we torture ourselves? Why do we torture ourselves? Oh, it's very silly. It's very silly. You guys, this is so cool right now. Like I'm looking at it on the camera and like, it's so different from the other one. I love that. I do feel like I'm going to add something here, but I kind of want to have a little bit more negative space so that we can add the silver accents and all of that stuff. So I'm going to go in here and just continue to just add stuff. So yeah, like you have to just be mindful of that stuff, you guys. Because, you know, anything that you try to come for or try to do, like I said this last week, some people are very anointed and you don't know who stands behind them. You got to be careful when you try to battle somebody. You think you're battling the wrong people. You got to be careful who you choose to go to battle with. Some people are very protected by God, that sometimes God uses that person to expose your real intentions. Did you clock that? No, people don't talk about that. Sometimes God puts people in your life to basically force you to heal what you have been denying or what you have been avoiding. And that person will come as someone who's there to just like, you know, be a friend. What the example of a real friend is, you know, not a fake friend, a real friend. This marker is, listen, I may not suggest these to Miss Nan because it is dying, but I have another set here of markers. So we're going to use another one. And also, to be fair, like I have been using a thinner tip. So it's going to take a little bit longer to do certain details, but I like that more than the thicker one only because like you can get finer, like get into these little crevices here. The thicker one is obviously harder to like go backwards. So I don't know if this one is new, but we're gonna shake, 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 shake your shake your All right, so we shake, open, vent. Ay, pero eso está duro. Hello, that's very hard. Can we vent like this? Very sharp. Okay, vent. Push it real good. Push it. Yes. Okay, so push it and then paint. Okay, allegedly I did it correct. Let's see. Oh, yes, it is. But you know what? This one is a little bit like, it's less opaque than the other one, but that's fine. Make it work. All right, so let's keep going. All right. Just add some more bloobity blobbities. And just get lost in the sauce. Okay, we're getting lost in the sauce. Lost in the sauce. Period. So I want to know, yes. Listen, I want to party with Miss Michelle Beach. I want to party with all of y'all. Are we doing this? Are we doing Friday nights at the commune? We're doing music night. Who's going to be our DJ? We need a DJ. We need someone who's going to, we need a Zumba class. We need all those things, okay? We need to do all the things. Oh, I love these. I love these little bloobity blobbities. Yes. Yes, I would love that. We should have karaoke night. Oh my God, that would be so fun. We have to have karaoke night. Like, I'm not the best singer, but I love to sing. It's just my favorite thing, like just to be silly about it. Oh, I love it. It's so fun. Period. Now these shapes are like taking on different forms. I love that. Yes. Okay. So, and also too, ladies and maybe the gentleman, if there's like, you know, any point that when we discuss certain things, like, you know, we all have a right to change our mind, right? And I think that that's something that gets lost in this space is that, did you know that a sign of intelligence is an ability to change your mind? To accept that maybe you got things wrong. And maybe it's okay to have a point of reflection, to observe things from a different perspective. But we're in this particular space on YouTube or when you have differences of opinions, like people get demonized. Oh, you're a traitor. How dare you betray us? You know? Maybe I just don't agree with that anymore. Is that a problem? Maybe I just don't like this anymore. Is that all right with you? Like, maybe I just want to wait for more information. Maybe I don't want to jump to conclusions, you know? Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. I think it's important to have those conversations with yourself to see if maybe the machine needs a little bit more fine tuning. And sometimes that comes with observing what you believed and to change your mind. You shouldn't feel bad for that. No one should make you feel bad for that, right? Like, I don't agree with that whatsoever. I think that it's important to do that. Reflection is so needed. We need to be able to reflect more and have conversations with people and just respectfully disagree. Why have we lost the art of debate? Why have we lost the art of debate? Respect is no longer available. It feels like respect left the minute the C-19 happened, okay? That was the last, like that 2019 was the last year of some normalcy. Because after that, it's like everything moved so quickly. Our society changed so drastically. And here we are, you know? I don't like that. This is why I freaking doodle. Because I'm like, this is the only thing that keeps me grounded in all of this chaos. Is the ability to just like create and just get lost in it. And this is not easy. I'm telling you, like, it is hard to rock a mic and do all this. Are you ladies already planning all of the days for the commune? I love it so much. I love it so much. Stop it. You have no idea how happy that makes me. Like, I just love that. It's like, because I think that everyone is so freaking tired of this stuff. Like, gosh. Por favor. Can we please just have a commune? Get some land, build some tiny homes, have like a very common space for all of us to hang out, do our gardening, crochet, dance, yoga, meditation, baking, cooking, like how things used to be, like a cute little village. Oh my gosh. Have you all heard of, so I'm obsessed with, like, I feel like I'm in my Nona era. I tell everyone that all the time. I love Lennox. So I don't know if people know what Lennox is, but Lennox is a brand of, like, usually they sell like plates and, you know, flatware, glassware, etc. And they have something called the Spice Village. You guys, the Lennox Spice Village is the cutest thing I've ever seen in my entire existence. It's like porcelain homes, but they hold spices. So like you buy, like, they're like tiny little homes, and it's like, you know, a little house shaped cinnamon jar. They just released a Halloween one where they're haunted houses. Let me just tell you the level of excitement that brings me, because it's like, of course, I need cardamom, spooky cardamom. Okay, I need spooky cardamom. What are you talking about? Of course, I need haunted pumpkin spice. Obviously. You know what I mean? Like, it is the cutest thing. So, like, it's so cute, right? Please look them up. It is the cutest thing. So, since like I had stopped working, and I had become a stay-at-home mom, like, I don't really buy a lot of stuff anymore. Like, I just don't. I mean, I'm trying to be conservative with our funds and make sure that, you know, whatever is excess we can save, or whatever it is that we need to do, you know, be a responsible adult. But when these things came out, I know they're a little expensive. I get it. But it is a piece, and there are pieces that you can like save. And especially for my daughter, like, I know my daughter will adore a little Spice Village. But the thing is, when they restocked like 2 years ago, They've been out for a little while because it's become very popular with a lot of people, especially with a lot of millennials and Gen X people who have bought their homes. Like they're like, oh, let's, we're going to buy the Spice Village. It kind of like, it came out in the 90s and then it kind of went away for a little while. And then they started, they did a re-release of them, but they were selling out like literally you cannot get them. I woke up super early and I bought it. And my husband had woken up super early and bought it too. So now we have two. And I was just like, what are we going to do with this? 2 Spice Villages. And then I was like, well, you know what? If we break anything, God forbid, but if we do, we have an extra. And then, my daughter can have her Spice Village, when she one day decides to, I don't, you know what? We're not going to talk about that because she's still very young. Okay, we're not gonna fast forward time. Okay, we're gonna stop right there. Okay, but she can have a Spice Village when it's her time. Okay, still can't get over that she's like growing so fast, and I don't know how I feel about it. So I'm gonna leave that one right there. But she will have a Spice Village, and it's just so cute. And like they have all these different things that you can add to your Spice Village. So they have like a coffee creamer set, which a little angel for my birthday got me a little Spice Village coffee, like a creamer sugar set. A little angel did that for me, and I literally lost it because I was like, oh my God, like I can't even freaking deal. Because it's like, it was so sweet. Thank you, Terry. I love you so much. But she's like the sweetest person ever of all time. And I was just so excited about it. So like that also is very special because I get to hold that near and dear forever. They have like a paper towel holder with the little house on top. Stop it. Of course I want like my paper towel to have a house on top of it. Of course, absolutely unnecessary, but adorable to the max. Okay. Like that's all I wanted in my life. And like you get pleasure in all of these things. Like I love all this stuff. Like I do think that like what has gotten lost in all of this modernization, this like, millennial gray, is that so much life has been taken out of what people used to take pleasure in, decorating their homes, adding color, adding personality, like this millennial gray crap. I'm over it. I'm so over the neutral. If I see a neutral beige again, like, can we have a little personality? Like, like when Lady Zelda has like all her backgrounds of like this gothic academia, like that is so cool to me. Like that has character and personality. We don't have that anymore. Everything is IKEA. Everything is a square. Nothing has like, a scalloped edge. What happened to the scalloped edges? Like I want a Pyrex. Okay. I want the old school Pyrex, the one with the blue flowers on it. I want that. Those things lasted the test of time because they were great. Terry, I love you. Like I will forever hold that near and dear. It only comes out for special occasions. Like I want to be able to say that. Like take out the china, the fine china for the guests. That's amazing. I love that. I love that so much. But, there is something nice about it. And we kind of lost touch with that because we've sacrificed personality and, quality for convenience. And look, there's a whole issue with that, with like even streaming and, ownership with your phones, with your, like we used to have to buy movies. Now we stream them. But then once we get rid of the stream, we don't have ownership of those things anymore. We used to have cassettes. So, I mean, I think that there is something to be said about these things, like I love being able to hold something. It has meaning, even if it brings you joy. It's like, I remember like all the nonas would like, and all the grandmas, abuelitas, they would have their coffee. They had like something for the sugar, something for the milk. They had their little plate. They had their cups, the spoons that went with this, the forks. Like we lost that for this ugly, gray, low quality crap. Come on. Nothing is as good anymore. That's why everybody wants everything vintage and old school. I get that. All right, so how are we doing? I love how this is looking. It is so cool. It's so different. So I'm going to start going with the silver because we're getting to the 2 hour mark. It's already going to be, I don't want to like, go over too much. But vintage is very cool. Yes. Oh my God. I think I have like Little Mermaid and Beauty and the Beast on VHS still. Like in the plastic, like the big plastic, like VHS holders. Those are so great. So let's do this. Let's do this. Yes. Okay. So I have not tried the silver marker before, so this will be a first for all of us. So now I have to make decisions. Do I want to do dots? Do I want to do lines? Lines could be kind of cool. So we're going to do lines. And look, and if it doesn't work out, it's all right. It's all right. Yes. So I'm just going to do some lines in all of this. I will say that as much as I love the silver, the one thing I did like about the gold is that there was a little bit more of a contrast, but we're going to keep working with it and just keep going. We can always change anything in this process. Whoa, that is pretty cool though. I love that. All right, so let's keep adding some lines and all these little oobly booblies. There's nothing like a fresh marker. Like the flow-ith of the acrylic paint in here is excellent. Yes. So yeah, I did hear that they're worth a little bit of money. But I just like, I don't want to give them away. Like, and you think about it, like there's so many things that I threw away that I'm like, I shouldn't have done that just because of like the keepsake and just to have something. Like all the movies that my daughter watches, all the shows, like they'll just live on a streaming service. Like she has no ownership over them. And then we have to keep paying to have it. We've been duped. We have been duped, you guys. We have been duped. So if you're able to have keepsakes, keep them. I understand why, like, people wanted to like save this for your grandbabies, save this for your children. I get it now. Maybe a little too late, but I get it. Oh, it's so old. Yeah, but you know what? It's made of quality and it lasted forever. And here we are like trading it for IKEA. IKEA is such a scam. I mean, they do have great things. And you know what? I will say that what I do love about the internet is that you can find a whole bunch of people who take like IKEA furniture and customize it and like make it into built-in closets, make it they add like those like wooden panels to them to give them a little bit personality. They paint them, etc. It's great. So Life says you'd love my set. Oh, the turquoise and white. Oh, I would love it. We're going to have this at the commune, girl. We're going to have a little Pyrex party. Like, I want to have a Pyrex party. I want to have an appetizer party. I want to do apps and drinks. I want to do Pyrex. I want to do casserole party. I want to do cookie exchanges. All of the things. Actually, get ready for the holidays. We're going to do cookies, you guys. We are going to do cookies for the holidays. I am going to share all the recipes I taught myself from other grandmas from google.com. And I have customized them. I have made them my own because that's one thing that like we didn't have growing up is Christmas cookies. Being able to share those recipes and decorate sugar cookies. So we do them now for Halloween and we also do them for Christmas. So I love to make like an absurd amount of cookies. That's who I am. I love to bake. And if I'm going to bake, that oven's turning on. It's staying on for a few hours because we're making the biscotti. We're making the little almond cookies, the almond cloud cookies. They're like the Italian almond cookies with the pine nuts. But these don't have the pine nuts if you don't want them. But I do make them with the pine nuts for my family because especially the Asian people, they love the pine nuts. I also make almond biscotti for my mother-in-law. She loves those. You know, we do the sugar cookies, we do gingerbread. Like, I love all of that stuff. So we will definitely be baking a lot of cookies, different types of chocolate bark, like, you know, all of the things. You guys, hello. Oh, when IKEA had meatballs, do you remember that? Do they still have food at IKEA? I haven't been to one in so long, so I have no idea what's going on over there. None. You guys, these lines are transforming this entire piece. Are you kidding me? This is why I love art and like kind of being surprised. How cool is that? I love that so much. I love that. And Avon, speaking of Avon, listen, you know, Miss Lady Zelda is an Avon affiliate and she has a little shop. And if you want makeup, please go support her. I did. And I am so glad that I did because I got this blush and this bronzer and it's actually really great. Like, it's been on my face. Payoff, like the color payoff is great. It's really affordable. And if you're just like looking for something because you don't want to do too much, it's a great time to like experiment. You could, it's a double whammy. You support Miss Lady Zelda and also you get some pretty good makeup. Like, it's actually very good. As somebody who has had a lot of makeup. So maybe we'll do a stream where I show you all of my makeup palettes. I still have all of them. It's unreal. I love that. It does look a little bit like a mosaic, right? Yes. It gives mosaic, honey. Yes. Let's add some more. I love it. You know what? I might be a rebel and do mixed metallics because why not? Because the silver is kind of like getting lost in here. And I do feel like the gold really pops. So we're going to add the silver for Miss Lady Zelda because I keep my word and will honor it. I think I'm going to add a Chimi flare because I love gold. Yes. Let us add some more. Period. Oh my gosh. See, like you can get lost in this stuff. And I do. I get lost in it. It's just so fun for me. Yes. And I love that it's like not so like you gotta it's organic. And I think that's the cool part about it. But look at such a difference between this side and this side. Like when you start adding the details, it really brings your piece together. And that's why I say to people just to have patience with it. Let it kind of do its thing and then, you know, you never know what's going to happen. So I love to be surprised with these type of things. As a girl who formerly did not like to be surprised at all, this is just like so relaxing to me. And the payoff is cool. And I get to make it with all of you. This is like this, like I haven't made, you guys, you have no idea. Like this type of art, like I had said that in another short, like I was so afraid to put myself out there because like, you know, when you are choosing to do that, you're going to be met with a lot of criticism. A lot of eyes are looking at you. It can be really daunting. And one thing I don't regret is doing it because, you know, one thing that I learned very early on with everything that I was doing is you have nothing to lose if you just try. And trying and just putting yourself out there was the best thing I did. But I was afraid, but I was like, I'm not going to let the fear be the reason why I don't do it. Because you know what? If this ends up inspiring somebody to do something themselves, then I've done my job. And how you get over your fear is by putting yourself out there and just to continue to do it. So it doesn't mean that your skill set has to be on point. I am certainly not the best artist, but you kind of find your own groove and you find your own style and then you just do it, you know? Oh, I like this one. It has like a longer line here and you just play with it. And the thing is, like, you've seen me do it from like start to finish, almost finish. Like I didn't really, it didn't take a lot of skill. It's just a whole bunch of doodly lines. And it's like, you're just doodling and you just let it kind of create its own masterpiece. So I love that. I love the ability to do this. It is so fun. And the lines don't have to be perfect. I think that's a part of the beauty, is that there is a lot of imperfection. It's so cool. But there are people, like, I don't know, since we were just Melanie had mentioned mosaics, there is a place, I forget where, but they still make mosaics the way that they used to, using the materials of the earth to be able to make them. And I mean, this is a lost art. It's becoming a lost art, where, like, because people are mass producing these things now. It's not made by hand because, you know, labor, to all my fellow artists, you know, people just assume that, you know, art is something cheap. It's not. You've seen already, it's taken 2 hours to get here, 2 hours plus to get to this point, right? It takes effort, it takes skill, it takes, you know, imagination. You should be compensated for that. But, you know, and it takes time. That's the labor aspect. Materials, like painters spend a lot of money on materials. Art supplies is not cheap, you guys. It's cheaper than when I was in school, but it's definitely still very expensive. And, you know, to be able to do this, it takes time, and you're getting a unique piece. I cannot replicate this unless I photocopy it and mass produce it that way. But in terms of it, you know, being like this is the original, right? So these things should be worth something because it's unique. And here we are paying, you know, people are paying hundreds of thousands of dollars for like an Hermes bag. Why? Because there's like maybe one of a kind with very quote unquote exclusive materials. And don't get me started on handbags, because you know what? That is such a waste of money, in my opinion. I definitely fell for that. Anyone else have like a fancy handbag? The leather isn't even real. It smells like it. It's like, it's all like fake, especially the newer stuff. It's all trash. So disappointing. Yes, let it flow. Let it flow. Let it flow. Yes. All right, so I'm going to do this because I need to get on this side. So I'm just going to just do that. And then I'm going to go in with some gold. I feel like it needs a little pop, a little extra. So I'm going to do that next. Love. So tell me who is actually doing this with me? I know Miss Nan wants to doodle. How iconic. I'm doodling with Nan. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? What an honor and a privilege. She's probably like, you know, over here like on some Frida Kahlo vibe. She's probably like the best at everything. It gives very much that. It gives that she knows how to do everything. God bless. What a blessing. She's like an attorney. She's a makeup artist. She's living a full life. God bless her. Seriously. God bless anyone who's living a full life. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I love it. I love. Oh my God, this is so cool. You know what it also gives? It gives very much like little eyeballs, kind of. The eyes are following us everywhere. Listen, Nan, she doesn't know, but she has already been invited to the commune. She has been invited to the commune. She has reserved her spot inadvertently. She didn't even know about that. Of course, if she accepts it, it would be an honor to have Miss Nan there. Miss Nan just looks like she knows how to party. You know, I'm not going to hold you. I really want to go out with Miss Nan. Go have a sipperino of a beveragino and just key, honey. Yes, I want to key with Miss Nan. Yes, and Miss Lady Zelda. Oh, and Miss Captain Harris. And all of you fabulous people. Look, Miss Captain Harris is like, I like a small batch whiskey. Of course she does. She has immaculate taste. Yep. Because if you're going to do the thing, you might as well get the small batch, the exclusive, the artisanal. Yep. We love an artisanal baddie. Yes. You guys, I'm really loving this. It's so cool. I love all the empty, the negative space. Such an artist term. So that's the only reason I hated art school. I'm not gonna lie. Art school was so funny because like I wasn't very good, and I think a lot of it too was just like I hated feeling like I had to do everything according to what everyone else was saying. Like for you to be respected, you had to be like a prodigy. And it's like, well, I'm not there yet and I'm not trying to be that. So what if it's just something that just brings me sheer enjoyment? Where's the room for that, you know? So I was always a rebel in class. I always was a rebel. Like I remember people were looking at me like I was a lunatic because I had gotten into a class with this very like well-respected teacher. I think she was like one of the best in color theory, iconic woman, but she was tough. Like she was one of those people that you did not mess with, you could not be a clown with. Like she was not playing around. So I was just like, I'm going to drop the class. I was like, if she's going to think that she's so cute and she's such a big of a deal, we're going to be beefing. I ain't doing that. Nope. Nope. She's going to want to control everything that I want to do. Nope. No disrespect, ma'am. You could be the best at color theory. And maybe that would have been applicable to my makeup life later in life. But I dropped the class and I was like, you know what? I'm not going to do that. I don't care if she's the best. To me, that means that what you're going to do is, and this is what people were saying, is that, you know how people come out of a class and they are exactly like the teacher. They haven't developed their own style. They just become a version of the teacher. And to me, that's being like a printing press. Like you're not developing your own style. You're just copying an aesthetic or a person, and you're not finding or honing in what makes you happy. So I was happy that I did that. A lot of people were like, are you sure you want to drop that class? Because it's a very good one. But I didn't care. That's going to have to live there for now. Okay, so we're going to keep going here. We have a couple more, and then we're going to add some gold, and then we're going to call it a night. Oh my gosh, doodling with Chimi. And thank you for everyone, you know, having the patience as I kind of like navigate all these different styles and things. And we have these conversations, especially for the trickier ones. I try to be as sensitive as possible. How far away is that thing? Hold on. Can I get it? Where's my cat? JB. Why don't you help me get it, my love? Why don't you like flick it over here? See, when I need you to help me, you don't help me. All right, well, whatever. We're going to leave it off to the side. It'll be all right. It won't dry out all the way. What's happening in the chat? What's happening? That beveragino is everything right now. Don't worry about what's in my cup, okay? Don't worry about it. But it is National Tequila Day. That's all I'll say. Sometimes we need to have a little fun, okay? All right. I'm feeling very frisky. I'm feeling very excited. I think we're going to add some gold to make this pop before we head out. So here goes nothing. Yes, immediately yes. Yep. She's giving mixed metals. You see how the gold is just like on the black is everything. Yes. Oh my God, I love that so much. Look at how it like kind of just gives it a little extra, you know? I love that. That's so cool. And I love how they're both so different. Yes. Oh my God, obsession. Do you see how like I go all over the pages? Because this is how my brain works. I cannot stay focused on like one area and work. I have to move around. I don't know if that's like an ADHD thing or just a me thing. Anyone else do this type of stuff? Like you're just kind of like going with the flow and you don't really have a rhyme or reason. You just do that. Oh, you guys, this is so cool. Hold on, pause. Yes. My God. Oh. MG. Yes. This just gave it a whole new life. It needed that contrast, as my girl life artist would say. Miss Life Artist came in clutch for people who were here from the very beginning in my eye series. You would know that. She came in clutch with the great advice. All right, so I'm going to flip this around. And also, too, how cool is it when you flip it into different like directions? My enthusiasm is continuing. Yes. Because like, honestly, if let's say the world ends like tomorrow, we just had the best time, you know, like, and we made stuff and we talked and we chit chat and we kept it, you know, peaceful and just straightforward and honest. Because what else is there? You know, if it isn't that, give some calm energy to the people. We got a lot of chaos going on. So it's just nice. Oh, I love this so much. You have no idea. Hold on. It didn't dry yet, so I got to do one of these. I got to do my claw. All right. Yes. I love art. I highly encourage everyone, please go get a pen, pad, and just see it. And you know what? Like, please email me. If you do any of the art stuff that I am working on, I would love to share your art. Life artist, Melanie, like, I know you both are like artists in your own right. And like, if you want to do something and share it, please do. Like, I'm a very collaborative person. So, you know, if there's ideas that you want to share and you want to work on together, like, we got to practice for the commune. So if there's things that you want to do, please share it with me. Like, I would love to do it. And if you ever want to come up here and you want to draw with me or paint with me, it would be more than an honor to host anyone who is interested in doing any of this fun stuff. Miss Michelle Beach needs to get ready because I saw you mention that I should add some rhinestones. I know. But how about we bedazzle together? Please, if you want to come on camera and bedazzle, we can bedazzle. Or if you want to just set up your camera to like just show the bedazzling process, I'm here for that. We got people on the internet who are like crocheting. How cute is that? Oh, the outline. Oh my God, I love it so much. Stop it. Stop. Yes, the gold, it was a necessary move. Oh my gosh, I love it so much. What do we think, ladies? And maybe a gentleman? So cool, right? Of course, my love. Yes, you let me know whenever you are ready. It is whenever you're ready. You let me know. I would love it if you would like to do it. I'll be no pressure. My cat has arisen. Hello. You can go get a snack? Okay, my love. I know it's already past your bedtime. You want to be snuggly and you want to be very cute. I know. But you got to let me work. I'm cooking right now. Okay? Yes. Ooh. You guys, I'm lost in the sauce. I can't stop. I can't stop. Whoa. Oh my gosh. Stop. That is, it's giving. Okay. Oh, someone upstairs is like really doing something. Okay, mira. I love that. This is what happens. Okay. I'm not even chatting because I'm so lost in the sauce right now of like the development of all this that I'm just so excited about it. It's so cool, right? Can we just do nothing at the Absolutely. Are you kidding me? Mira, Reina, I also know that we're not trying to do a lot of things, okay? I'm just trying to set us up so we can have the commune work for us, okay? We do, Mira, you think that I want to be doing everything every day? No. I mean, we got to cook and we got to do the basics, but we're just trying to be self-sufficient. The goal is to have a self-sufficient commune, and to let it work for us. And I think that's how things used to be. And then just have fun times. If you want to just chill and you don't want to do nothing, I respect that. If you want to just party, hey, yes, we're in a party. There's going to be a balance of everything. But I do feel like a lot of people want to just like stop doing everything because like people are tired. Being a human is exhausting sometimes because you're like constantly working, you're constantly like, not having time to do the things that bring you happiness. So a lot of us are just tired and we just want to just sit and eat a pint of ice cream and just be left alone. I hear that, like I get that 100%. Will that always be the case in the commune? I guess like when you're, like I will say as somebody who used to work a corporate job and then moved into kind of being a stay-at-home mom, not even kind of, I am a stay-at-home mom. It was a big of a shock for me because like I was so used to a routine that all of a sudden I found myself like not feeling like I was productive anymore. I felt like, oh my God, I'm not making money. I'm not useful. And, my husband sat me down and was like, what are you talking about? You're not useful. Can you stop being so dramatica? Like, you're providing for our home. You're cooking. You enjoy it. You're making us food. You're nourishing us. You're like taking care of things. It's a different form of contribution. But, being a parent at home doesn't get the same level of, I guess, like respect as having a full-time job and making monetary money because, people are just used to thinking that that's the only avenue, right? To be productive is to make money and to have a career. And it's like, no, taking care of your family is a full-time job, is also a part of what some of us want to do. And I wouldn't trade it for anything because like, I'm very happy. I'm very blessed. And I'm just very grateful that I've been afforded this life. So, if I'm doing this stuff on the internet, it's because this has become a passion project. And I know for a lot of people, that's not an option, So I feel very grateful to have this and to be able to do it. And also shout out to the people who love to do their jobs too, right? There's nothing wrong with whatever path you choose is essentially the point. But I know for some of us, like, I used to work a job I didn't like. I gave it 1,000% because, hi, I'm a Taurus. But I also know that like a lot of us are exhausted and we don't want to do these jobs anymore. We have to go and deal with people we don't really want to deal with. We got to work with these bosses and deal with their temperaments and their egos and all this stuff. And it's like, Lord, I don't want to deal with you today. I want to just eat the ice cream. Okay. So I understand that too. But at the commune, honey, we will do whatever you want to do, my love. And you're a nurse. So I know for you are doing a lot. And nurses, they have a really difficult job. So shout out to you. You guys, should we leave her here? I feel like she's good. I think this is pretty this little area needs a little something. Stop it. Hold on. I spoke too soon. Yes. Listen, we are doodling on this Friday on National Tequila Day. How cool is this? Very different from our other piece. But look at what you can do in like 2 hours. In 2.5 hours. So that's one. Hold on. So this is our first. Well, this is the one we just did today. Let's zoom in. Nice. And this was the other one. How different. They're like so different. Two different vibes, right? And it's just like, I didn't have any direction. It just happened that way. We have to do another one to complete this trilogy. And yes, Captain Harris, I will definitely be framing them because I think it's nice to have it as a trilogy. But like they're so different, but they still go together. I think it's beautiful. Like I love the abstract part of it. Like you can spin it any way. How cool would this be on a notebook? Like as a cover? That would be pretty cool. You guys. Okay, I'm going to leave this here because I know I can get lost in it and like I'm not going to do that. And I want to chat for a little before we go. And thank you to our cam. How cute is this cam? Do we love the cam? Can we get a little heart for our little cam baby? I love you. Let me turn you off. Yes. Hold on. How do I put myself normal now? Is it this? Hi, I'm here. You guys, stop it. We did that. I cannot believe that. Let me just, oh my God, it's like so hot. Okay, I understand. You were working overtime, honey. Let me move you over. It's okay. You'll be all right. Okay, you'll be all right. I love it so much. So this is also going to be my kitchen cam, and I'm very excited about it. Hold on. I need to look at this again because I can't. And P.S., for those who were there, who remembers MASH with Lana from Truth and Transparency? That was a riot. That was so fun. But like 1 and 2, so different, so cool. And I love like the reflective. You guys, you see why I love to do this so much? It's like, it's so relaxing. I get to hang out with the beautiful people, my beautiful ladies and maybe gentlemen. And we get to hang out and just chill for a little bit. And I hope that this was relaxing for everyone. We did get to talk about a couple things and, the topic overall. And it seems like, I guess the moral of it all is that we can, I guess, try to separate the art from the work case by case basis, if that's even a term, on a case by case basis. And, regardless of anything, the part of all of this is that, we just take the time to just observe more than we are to jump the gun with a lot of things. And then when you see certain things, like in the case of Jeffrey, it's like, that doesn't align with who I am as a person or the type of company that I want to support. And sometimes the way that you show people is through your money and through your support. And as much as it breaks my heart, because in that moment in time in 2016 and into 2020, and all of that time I spent watching hours upon hours of YouTube content and watching Jeffrey and being influenced by his all of like the products that he would love and approve of. Like, things change, and it's always important to remember that, like, I don't regret ever making the art that I made or the makeup looks that I made. It does make me look at this differently, but I guess the alchemy in it all is just to know that the product was just a tool, but the art was still divine. And it was still from a place of love and creativity. So in that respect, what I made out of the tool, even though the tool and the person was not of the best and, turned out to not be who I thought would go this level or to this level, I made some really great art, and I'm proud of that because it was a part of the process. And that's with all people, with content creators as well. Like, even though they may not turn out to be the way that you thought, I think it is important to just recognize that, they were instrumental in certain areas. Studying the psychology behind it is very fascinating to me, of like what fame and money and power does to people. But also going into these spaces, it's important that, these people are held to a different standard. They are putting their whole lives out there, whether it's for their own reason, for attention, for the greater good, whatever the case may be. And it comes with a lot of pressure, and not everybody's good at handling that. And if we don't have the right people around to keep us grounded, or even tools within ourselves to implement a way to kind of like get back to reality and stick to the purpose of why you chose to start something, then yeah, you can get lost in all of that. And it can turn into a fiasco, right? It can turn into a disaster if it's not handled with care. So, what I would say is, because chats also play an important part in the support system for content creators, is to always remember that, like, when we choose to put ourselves out there and share our art or share who we are, like, we are also people, and we're not perfect, we're flawed. A lot of people don't know, aside from what you see in this very moment, what anybody could be going through. And specifically for certain creators who have bigger platforms, what I would say is just be mindful of how you go out there and the words that you say, who you influence, and what you're trying to do. Because words carry power, and power can turn into a disaster if it's mishandled and not done with care. So, my hope is that we're kind of reaching that point in humanity that all of us are realizing that, we have to be more accountable for how we show up in spaces, that, free speech is something that still is to be protected, and that, you know, sometimes people exploit that and they don't use that appropriately. And there are limitations to certain things, because it's like, if you're impacting someone's livelihood or you're taking it too far, that's not what free speech is about, right? You shouldn't have to harass people. That's not free speech. And that's not directed at anybody, even though I know it could be because of where we come from, but that's just in general for everyone. Aside from that very specific situation, it's like there are consequences. But if you are also in the position to want to protect our speech, you have to be responsible. And we don't hold these people who we've put on certain pedestals accountable. And accountability is very, very, very important in keeping people on the right path. And at least, something in this space that I've noticed is that it is very hard to manage, when you have a whole bunch of people coming in left and right and switching the mood and switching the energy. But ultimately, the person who runs the show and whoever is the face is responsible. And if you are cultivating a space that is going to invite certain energies, you have to be very sure that you're removing them and that you're strict about it. So I've said this before. I could know you for a day, for a minute, for a year, for a decade. Respect is something that is expected here. And if it's not reciprocated and it's going to cause chaos, you're out. No second chance. None of that. It's like, I'm very protective of what we're all building here. The commune is very protected. Okay. High security. Okay. High security for a reason. Okay. It's for people who are ready to do that, to evolve and to want to do better for themselves. If you want all that other stuff, that's your business. That's okay. That's for you to explore. But here, this space is very protected. Thank you, God, for that. And I will always say it with a prayer that I thank God for always protecting us, for protecting, and also for me to be able to articulate the words appropriately and that they're received in the way that I intend them. And also to protect everyone who comes here in the chat, and to give you lots of love and blessings for taking the time to support little old me and the little like crazy idea that I had to just be like, you know what? Let's be the odd one out. Let's be the one that doesn't really go into all this stuff and just like does something a little different. So I'm just very grateful to have found a wonderful community with all of you. And, the commune is happening, you guys. We're doing that. We got to create the spaces that make us feel good. And that's my mission here. So I'm hopeful every time that like everyone feels leaving good, and that we kick off the weekend with good vibes and that we're all happy. and excited. You know, life is short. Let's enjoy things. Let's love each other. Let's care for one another some more. And just really, 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 really just stay focused on what's important here. Because this time is not guaranteed. We know that. And we're not afforded time on earth when it's our time to go. So please make use of it and do what makes you happy. Get out of the things that don't fulfill you and put yourself and pour yourself entirely in the things that do, because those are the things that matter. And if people are not paying your bills, baby, it's gotta go. So with that said, thank you so much again to everyone for joining me tonight. It was so fun. And thank you for allowing me to work with you all. To everyone who stopped by, thank you. Of course, Nan was her first time here, so thank you, Nan. Of course, Lady Zelda, Lord Gregor, Miss Captain Harris, the Lady Zelda crew, all of my day ones. You know who you are. I love you. I thank you. My mods, Terry, Renee, and Miss 808, and obviously Miss Boston Brandy. Thank you so much as well. I love you all. Have a wonderful rest of your night. If there is a flight, honey, I might be in the chat, okay? If I have the energy to stay up. I mean, I still got a ways to go. But you know what? We'll be all right. So with that said, I love you all. Have a wonderful weekend. If I see you in the chat for that flight, we outside, all right? Love you. Have a good night, and I'll talk to you guys next time. And here we go. Bye. End the stream. Is it going to do it now? Yes, it is. Bye.